Okay, now I'm gonna remove the back rollers, and these are easier to take off and put on. All you gotta do is move the carriage all the way to this side here and get a better angle from underneath. And you can see them under there. And it just has the same kind of bracket where you just kind of move it. I'm gonna release, and you can just use your fingers actually on this one. So you just pop this side off and then pop that side off, pull it up. It's got a little hook in it, so it might be a little tough to pull that up over. And there you have your bigger rollers removed. So now that I have the bigger roller removed, I'm going to remove the screw, one of the screws on this, and remove all of these rollers and start peeling off the rubber. Same concept as with the smaller rollers. I'm just going to put a flathead on the bottom and then one on the top. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that in the angle. This one's a little bit longer. It's easier to do this in your lap, but I have to show it on camera, so. Okay, got it. Got the top side. I'm just going to take that screw off and put it in a parts cup so I don't lose it. And then I'm just going to slide all these off one at a time. And I'm going to clean this off. And you could take that to a wire wheel if you want to get that real nice and cleaned off. Okay, so I'm going to take one of my rollers and do the same thing as I did with the smaller ones. I'm just going to try to cut it. And peel it. And that seems to work pretty good. If they're really melted, then you can just get the pliers and just pull them off. That's what I normally do. But see, it's coming off pretty good. You just get more residue when you use the pliers, and you can take it to the wire wheel if you want to get all the residue off. Nice and bare metal, so it slides easier on. So now we have most of that residue off. I'm going to slide on 3D printed roller. Fits snug right over that and goes in between and sits right in between the two lips. Now I'm going to put that back onto the rod. And okay, I went ahead and removed and replaced the other rollers. So I'm just going to show you the sequence on how the rest of the parts go back on. So I have the first roller on, and then I'm going to put on the spacer next. And this is the part that actually connects to the bracket. It's a little spacer. And then goes on a sleeve. This. And then goes on another roller. Actually, the washer goes in before that. So the washer goes in, and then the roller, and then a different spacer goes in. This is a longer spacer than the one that actually connects to the bracket, so this one goes in. And then another roller, and then a washer, and then another sleeve, and then the other spacer that holds the bracket, then the last roller, and then the screw. And we're going to screw that in. It doesn't need to be super tight, it just needs to be enough so it doesn't fall off. And that should be good enough. Make sure all the rollers roll, and they do. Now we're going to put this back on. Okay, now we have the back side of the typewriter and the paper release is still depressed. And we're just going to line up the brackets with these two spacers on the end, on the inside of the end. I'm just going to slide that in, and I'm holding down the bracket with my finger and putting it on those spacers and making sure it's lined up right. And then I'm going to put forward the paper release and turn it and make sure that they turn, and they turn good. So now I'm going to feed a paper for the final test to make sure that this works. Beautiful.